I'm Abbi Jacobson.
And I'm Ilana Glazer, and we make Broad City.
I feel like the more I learn about this organization, the more what I believe in, what I want to do aligns with its mission. I just can't think of a more positive place for young girls in New York City. I mean, what an amazing hub for something like this.
Girls Right Now perfectly aligns with my core values because my career is based on women working together to validate ourselves. I love how Girls Right Now is women to women, and it's almost intrinsic validation because of that. And that's what Broad City is. This is a project that is us validating each other. You know, me seeing the best thing about Abbi's performance or voice, and Abbi seeing the best thing about my performance or voice. And I see that in Girls Right Now, that there's no hoarding of skills or resources. It's about sharing and raising women up all together, kind of nobody left behind. And I just, it's such a cool organization. And I love that young women are getting a chance to see that they can make money from their minds. Well, also, I mean, one of our biggest mentors, and especially shared, is Amy Poehler. That was talk about girls and a woman like looking at each other and being like, can we do this? And it's also like, I think Amy definitely like learned as much as we did. For her, like, you know, even with us, sometimes we like pretend to know the answer and then we look at each other and it's like, yeah, that's the answer, I guess, because we said it. And it's just that it's so helpful to see by example, to see a woman be confident and take the reins, because we're specifically taught that they can't. And to just have that example once can mean a world of difference.
Yeah, and Amy would be the one. And her looking at our, you know, we were a web series first, and her looking at our web series and saying this could be a bigger thing, that completely validated us in a way that I think we had hoped and knew like in our gut that it was possible, but she was like, no, that's possible. Let's do it. And that's so powerful. That's so freeing of like the doubt.
A lot of my confidence came from listening to Nicki Minaj, especially early Nicki Minaj, when she was featuring on songs, and she was coming in, she only had a verse to spit, so she would come in so hard. I mean, you knew me during that time when
you're making the web series. You think the web series, Ilana, is very like Nicki, when you're rapping in your room to Hannibal. Yeah.
But that was like, that was before she like broke out, and that was in my like early 20s, and that made a huge difference. I also think each other. We constantly, just hearing you talk about Amy, and it's like women validating women is not that men shouldn't validate women and women can't validate men, but it is important to make that space in your life to be validated by women and to validate other women, because it makes the space for that.
Yeah, and especially with us, when we sort of like found each other, it was like, you're so funny. And I felt that back, where it's like, you're so funny, like, let's do this. And it's like, it is a constant, like, there's like a dual ladder where it's like, and it's like that is just inherently confidence building. And then at a certain point, you have to stop worrying about the outside world and just be like, well, I'm confident in this thing we're doing. Let's keep doing it and not worry as much about what's going on, because that's, at the end of the day, what's going to make something great is if you kind of stick to your voice and not worry so much about all the feedback.
I wouldn't say there's lines we don't want to cross, but we'll try something, and if it doesn't work, we're like, yeah.
And if there is something that feels like it's something that might be iffy, it's more about how to do it. And how to do it like in the characters' voices that makes sense, or really in our voices and literally their voices, how it makes sense for the show. And I don't think there's anything that we're like, we can't tackle that, but it's more like, does it feel like the right way?
We feel like everything, you should be able to make a joke about anything. You just have to do it the right way, and it has to be at the right time, and you have to be the right person. Nothing should really be off limits. It's just about context and skill.